hands are tied. Their hands are tied by curriculum, and they keep on adding more and more and more, and there's no time for, I mean, do you learn sales in school? No. Do you learn personal development? Do you learn financial management? Are these things extremely
not
important?
In my head here, no.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to know how many atoms is in a hydrogen molecule
for a while, and then you forget.
Right until the test, and then afterwards you
the battle
clear
of
the RAM.
upper and lower Canada is what I always like to say.
Yeah.
I always know how to do that, but I can't do taxes.
Yeah,
but I know those upper Canadians.
Yeah. So I think people are really waking up to that, and there's a lot of alternative education available, and with the internet, everything. You can learn anything. Yeah. You can learn anything, everything. And I was traveling in China, and I was couch surfing with this guy. Couch surfing is where you stay at other people's places for free, and just the nicest people, you just crash with them. And he said he had this old CRT monitor, you know, the big, heavy, 100-pound monitors. And he had this computer that he built that was, like, exposed. Like, it wasn't encased. It was just, like, a motherboard and a processor and a fan. And he had an internet connection. And he said, I've taken my daughter out of school. She's like 6 years old. And I'm going to teach her with YouTube. Because he decided that whatever the Chinese government is putting in schools is not what he needs his child to learn. And let's not think that Canadian government is any different. No. I mean, we can say China's got the propaganda or whatever. But still, we're learning whatever was mandated 50 years ago, 60 years ago. Like, it's not the skills we need today to thrive.
Have any of them brought you in to do talks at their?
I have, yeah. The Ministry of Education in Ontario reached out to me for some of the work that I'm doing with youth entrepreneurship, and they said we have this focus we want to develop. They call it ICE, I-C-E. In government, it's always an acronym, ICE, and it's innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. I go, this is great. This is amazing. And so we developed a one-day training seminar intensive that models off of a story where every single concept goes back to the story. And the story is my story of when I started my first snow cone stand. My first business, I was 16 years old. I bought a snow cone business. So I can teach you break-even analysis calculations with snow cones. Yeah. Okay, I could teach you marketing, competition, indirect competition, direct competition through a snow cone story. And that just happens to be more engaging and more memorable than just like saying, all right, these are the concepts, and there's going to be a quiz at the end of the day, and you'll memorize it, and then you'll forget it. Yeah. So they can remember the story.
Yeah. And I always thought that would be an interesting way to do a lot of more classes. History, do it historical nonfiction, just like the Dan Brown books. Everybody was buying Dan Brown books.
Yes.
But in the end, it was just they taught you history. But it kept people engaged.
Yes.
So if you could create books like that, that would teach.
Well, I mean, they already do kind of try to do that sort of thing with math questions, at least, right? Giving a little bit of a story into a math question, throwing the numbers in there.
Exactly, and it's so much more real and useful.
Yeah, if we could do more of that, that's great education.
One of the coolest experiences I've had, I went to Australia for a year, and
where did you live in Australia?
I lived in Darwin, Australia. It's in the Northern Territory. Yes. Yeah, it's like thousands of miles away from the next city. And that's where most of the Aboriginal Australians live. And they wanted to create a entrepreneurship training program. And they reached out to me. I was working at this entrepreneurship training place in Ottawa called the Ontario Self-Employment Benefits Program, OSEB, at the YMCA. Cool. So anyway, they say, here's the challenge. We want you to teach entrepreneurship, but you can't use books, no lectures, only stories and pictures. I go, really? Why is that? And they go, because that's the way Aboriginal Australians have taught for generation after generation. And you can find artwork that sort of explains, all right, here's how you find the hunting trails, and here's where you find the water holes, and it's actually you follow a picture. So we made these huge pictures. They were like 9 feet by 6 feet canvas maps, or mats that we would kind of roll out. And we would explain things like break-even analysis or competition. You know, all these concepts, and we do it with stories. And it was way more engaging and way more memorable. And I go, well, you don't have to be Aboriginal to learn from stories and pictures. In fact, it's just a way more fun and easy way to learn. So I try to incorporate that to all my training.
And were they thankful that you came in and you...
Oh, yeah. We developed the whole program from end to end, from having the idea of starting a business to testing it, to launching it, to growing it, and to finally selling it. And so they have this whole business, and it's all in the Aboriginal artwork style, and it's all with Aboriginal stories. So it's called Walkabout Your Business, and it's a great program. It's still running in Australia.
Oh wow! Have you heard any good success stories yet from doing that? Anybody that's actually started something up?
Yeah, well, one of the clients I was working with, he's an artist, and I have his painting hanging in my living room. They're amazing, just jaw-dropping Aboriginal art. They come from a history of welfare. You know, their parents were on welfare and their parents' parents were on welfare. And so he had to wait until he would get his welfare check to go and buy supplies. And he would spend about $50 on a painting, and we'd go down to the market and sell it for $30.
Yeah.
So we kind of showed him, okay, you know,
that's not going to work.
That's not good, right? And so the problem was, it was product juxtaposition. Or what is your product next to? Because he was selling these $30 paintings, and they're huge. I mean, they're like 3 feet by 2 feet. They're big.
I would sell minimum 500 here, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
So they were selling it next to $8 kebabs and $3 slushies, and so it's actually the most expensive thing in the market. One of the most expensive things. So we found out they weren't framed. They were like hanging literally by binder clips on a string. So they kind of looked like almost like laundry, right? Yeah. And we said, well, what if we framed it? Put an extra $100 into it, frame it, and put it in an art gallery in the most expensive part of town, where at $2,000 it would be the cheapest piece of art in the whole gallery. You know, there's a $10,000 and a $15,000. They were selling the same. He would sell the same exact paintings for $2,000 in an art gallery.
Okay.
After putting it on a frame and after putting it next to more expensive products. That's price juxtaposition.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I got a family of in-laws that are all artists and fantastic artists.
That's what I've been telling you to do, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks very much, Majid. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about some of your talks that you've been doing recently. Cool. Those are very interesting. We're going to listen to one more song from the Reverb Syndicate. This is Better Dancing Compliance, because you always need better dancing compliance. And we're going to hear from Jen from Foodie Prince, and we'll be right back.
Thanks, guys. With the recent sunshine and warmer temperatures, spring is finally here. 2 big events are taking place this weekend. First up is the Originals Ottawa Spring Craft Sale. Happening today until Sunday at the EY Centre on Uplands Drive, the show features 180 Canadian artisans with their handmade products with food, fashion, and crafts. Just taking a quick look right now, at the list of exhibitors food-wise, I see artisanal chocolates, smoked Amish-style meats, gourmet sauces, spices, and snacks. You'll also find oils, tapenades, herbs, dipping sauces and seasonings. There's honey and maple syrup products, jellies, chutneys, and jams. That is a pretty good list so far. So if you know someone who has a birthday coming up, this could be a fantastic place to find a special foodie gift. Doors open each day at 10 a.m. Today and Friday, the show is until 9 p.m. On Saturday, it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and it finishes at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Parking is also available on site for a flat rate of $8 a day, or you could take the bus, routes 97, 99, and 147. You'll need to check OC Transpo, though, for scheduled times. Now, admission is $7 for adults and $4 for seniors and youth between the ages of 13 to 17. Children 12 and under get in free. You should also know that there is unlimited free readmission. Tickets are available on site at the show box office, or you could win a pair of tickets through the Foodie Prince Facebook page. Courtesy of the kind people from Knock on Wood's Communications, I'm giving away 2 pairs of tickets, meaning there will be 2 winners. Just leave a comment telling me what you like most about spring. I'll be drawing the tickets Friday morning. For more information and a complete list of exhibitors, visit www.originalsshow.ca. All right, well, if you're already attending the Spring Craft Sale, then why not stop by at Eat, Drink, Spring, the spring edition of the Ottawa Wine and Food Show. It looks like the EY Centre is the place to be this weekend, if you're not glued to the TV for all the hockey playoff action. The festival is happening Friday from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. and Saturday from noon until 11 p.m. Admission is $20 plus the cost of sampling tickets if you want to purchase food and drinks. Now last week I had mentioned that there will be food trucks and carts there, and I'm happy to say I now have a list of who will be there. This includes Admare, Angry Dragon, Flatbread Pizza Company, Golden Fries with their very popular poutine, of course, the Green Papaya, the Mary Dairy, St. Albert's, Mr. Tritos, Street Gourmet, and much more. Many of these trucks will be serving a special menu that weekend so that you can pair wine or beer with your plate of goodness. Visit www.ottawawineandfoodfestival.com to purchase your tickets online and for more information. And that's it for today. Enjoy the beautiful weather and have a great weekend.
All right, thank you so much, Reverb Syndicate. So, of course, check them out. Friday at House of Targ, new album dropping. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of dancing there, especially with the compliance issue.
You want to comply.
You always have to be in compliance, you know?
Yes.
We always know that. All right, so you speak all over the city. One of the purposes of this podcast is to make people realize there is more in Ottawa than finishing your job at 5 o'clock and going home and just existing and
flopping on the TV.
And existing, flopping on the TV, and then go back to work. You're out almost every night when you are in Ottawa, and you're at so many different events.
Well, you even just finished the talk right now.
We're going to talk about that one. I want to talk about Mo Mondays. You just recently spoke at Mo Mondays, and I would like to know a little more about that. Why other people should join and witness this excellent event.
Yeah, Mo Mondays is a very cool club. There's a couple of chapters across Canada. I met the guy who formed it when I was at a conference for professional speakers in Toronto. And he said, you got to come out and do a talk. And so basically it's like TED Talks, if you guys know TED Talks. They're about 10 minutes max, and you tell a story. It could be motivational, but it's got to be personal, it's got to be entertaining. And we filled the room with, I think it's Linda Babaluk is the organizer of Mo Mondays, and she filled the room with 100 people, and just great talent, great stories right here from Ottawa. You order a beer, you have a dinner, and you have some face-to-face. You could call it networking or just making friends, just meeting people.
Where does this take place?
It's normally in the Heart and Crown in Byward Market.
Okay.
Last time it was at the Old Dubliner, also in the Byward Market, but it'll be back at the Heart and Crown.
They're doing the renovations.
That's right. They're bringing in a whole bar from Ireland.
Come on, really?
Yeah, they shipped a whole bar in. They're putting it into the Heart and Crown, so I'm going to check that out.
That's genuine.
Yeah.
Well, Larry Bradley, the owner, he goes to Ireland probably 4 or 5 times a year, I'm pretty sure. And he does his research. He knows what his Irish pubs are like.
So what was your story last night? What did you speak on last night?
It was a story about a time where I was walking in Spain on a 500-mile hike called El Camino de Santiago.
You did that? Wow.
Yes.
Excellent.
And I came face-to-face with a bull. And this bull in this story scared me to death, and I built up the courage to eventually walk past the bull. And I asked a local, I said, geez, there's a bull out here. Like, you guys all right with this? And he says to me, it's just a cow. Because I didn't realize the difference between a cow and a bull. I mean, this cow had horns, but I thought it was going to charge me. So then I go on to explain different points in my life where fear has kind of stopped me dead in my tracks, and the courage to move past it has been, it's almost like that's my bull. That's the bull standing in my path. So I tell that story over about 10 minutes, a little bit of drama.
And most of the fear is more perception, I guess.
Totally
right?
in your head, yeah.
And they always say practice as you preach. You're a motivational speaker, so a lot of people love to see